There's been some confusion about the black Jews. Let me give you a short history of them. Now, our Ethiopian brothers, uh, they, and when I say our Ethiopian brothers, I'm speaking of Orthodox people, especially those under the Oriental Orthodox communion, like myself. This extends to the Copts, the Syriacs, um, those in India who had been in India since the first century, um, and the remnants in Persia, also known as Iran. The Kebra records that um, the Queen of Seba or Sheba came up from came up from her lands, which it was not just Ethiopia; it also stretched into the Arabian Peninsula, and had a liaison with Solomon. And there's a great big story about that the Orthodox have. She wouldn't eat any food or take any water because that would mean she'd have to stay. So he put salty foods around everywhere so she would get thirsty. And then, so she wound up getting impregnated by him, and the son came out leopard print because Solomon, being white man, white not in our concept, white kind of like me, not like Anglo-Saxon. Um, and this is the beginning of the line of um, kings that lasted 442 generations until the communists came in and Haile Selassie, also known as Ras Teferi, was out of power, and he was the last Orthodox king. But then they said they brought the ark back with them. This is an apocryphal story. What actually happened was that the uh, the priests under an evil, wicked king known as Menashe, or your King James Bible will call him Manasseh, saw the wickedness and saw the idols that were being put in the Holy of Holies in the temple, and they picked up and they left. And then they established a community on Elephantine, and then they finally found a resting place near Axum at the Church of St. Mary's, and that is where the Ark of the Covenant that Moses had built lays to this day, and it is guarded by devout Orthodox brethren with AK-47s. There's only one man, one holy man, who's allowed to ever live there. He can never leave, and he is the spiritual protector of the Ark of the Covenant. These Jews are known as the Falasha. They fled from the wicked king Manasseh, and lo and behold, the final blow was to the southern kingdom, and the Babylonians charted everything they took. They didn't chart taking a big gold box with 2 gold cherubim on top of it. So we know that the Ark of the Covenant is safe, and they understood the power of the Ark because where do they host it? In the chapel of the Virgin Mary, and we know that the Virgin Mary is the Ark of the New Covenant. Now there's talk of Jews being black, or that the Ethiopians or the tribe of Dan. The tribe of Dan were apostates that sailed away to Kittim, sailed away to Greece, and lost their Jewishness. They were bull worshippers. This is where the Mycenaeans are from. Now, there was thousands and thousands of years after this, there was a kingdom that arose named Khazaria, where there was conversion, right? Now, not all Ashkenaz Jews are from this Khazarian conversion, and most Jews are the Sephardim. We also have to remember that when Ethiopia became Christian, very early on, Ethiopia was a Christian kingdom before the existence of the Anglo-Saxons. When they were still Anglo-Saxons and Jews terrorizing their homelands of Denmark and northern Germany and the Netherlands. Although the Netherlands didn't exist then, it was Holland, as well as Sweden. It was before they settled in Britain. Now, even the Ethiopian Jews and the Ethiopian Orthodox, the Tewahedo, will tell you that. I mean, I have. Where is it? I have Ethiopian icons around here. Where is my Ethiopian icons? A beautiful one. There's one of St. George. But yeah, they would never. They don't say, "Oh, Christ was black" or anything like this. These are silly things. And they recognize their Coptic brothers and their Syriac brothers, as well as they recognize. They even recognize we think he's a heretic, the Pope of Rome, but they recognize him in honor, being the Bishop of Rome. Yeah, there's an Eastern Orthodox or an Ethiopian Orthodox rendering of St. George. There is a Black American movement that is black supremacist and gives no concern to Christ or his prophets or the martyrs or their own even history. When I talk about sub-Saharan black Africans, there's things that stick around in people, and it's like writing. If you're a Christian or a Jew, literacy sticks with you. You teach your children this. So being people of the book. That's why we were called, even before Islam, people of the book, because we did not have, while we may have images like this, they're two-dimensional when we say we write them, we are not, our history concerns us greatly, and we write it down. You could say, oh, well, you know, the white supremacists might say, oh, well, Egypt was greater, and it had, you know, pyramids and this and that, and it had, you know, hieroglyphs, and it was so much greater. Okay, the Egyptian civilization went through many phases and then was conquered by the Greeks. Cleopatra was a Greek. And then it just assimilated and amalgamated into the Byzantine Empire, and then it was taken by the Arabs, and the Arabs had destroyed the nose of the Sphinx and eradicated most of it, and now we only have the Copts, who are the true descendants of the Pharaonic kingdom. With Ethiopia, their riches are in their blood. Their riches are in their culture and their history, and not forgetting. Yet, somebody who's descended from a Western African, who's of Bantu descent, who is not of Aksumite descent, who is not of the Nubian descent, trying to claim all of Africa as their own, is imperialistic and is just as Nazi as anything I've ever heard of. Why not try to claim all of South and North America as your own and enslave the Mestizo, the Latino, the Creole, and all Hispanic people? It is ludicrous. So, the idea that a beautiful civilization like Abyssinia, even under the Solenoids, would forget how to create fire, build buildings, brick and mortar, writing, their own history, their own language. Where else is Gez spoken at? Now, I take it personally offensive because the Ethiopians are my brethren, just as the Copts are, because I'm Syriac. Now, you black Americans base everything on the color of your skin. Go to Ethiopia. They won't consider you black, or they might consider you black American, but you will never be one of them. I'll never be one of them, but they will always recognize me as their brother because we have the same culture, we celebrate the same holidays, we revere the same thing, and when I get met by an Ethiopian Orthodox priest, I know exactly what to do to show him respect. So let this be the end of this nonsense. Boo-hoo, you don't have any Arab or Latino blood in you. And you're not a practicing Eastern Orthodox Christian. Why not be happy with your own culture? Or are you think so low of yourself that you think your own culture is just killing people and talking about hoes and slapping bitches and coming from a fatherless home? The Eastern Orthodox man does not see this as anything noble. To be Orthodox is to be noble, virtuous, and calm-tempered. Yet, so many black Americans I see lose their temper. Not even black Americans, white Americans. I never lose my temper. That's a trademark of an American. Too loud, not willing to show any deference or honor or respect to your elders. This is why I wish Americans would just get away from the rest of it. Just stay here. Just stay in the United States. Don't go anywhere. Because but then again, Americans will just join the army and fuck everything up anyways. Peace to you.